Hey everybody, we're doing another first chapters today. This is a middle grade science fiction book called Cleo Porter and the Body Electric by Jake Burt. We're going to go ahead and read the first chapter. It's a pretty short first chapter, but I really liked it. I thought it was really good. This is another one where there's a couple pictures in it. So if you want to see, here's the first one. It looks like the cover. Here we go. 3 objects sat upon the carpet in Cleo Porter's living room. An apple core, a human skull, and a package wrapped in red. It was the last of these that had Cleo well and thoroughly vexed. She lay on her stomach, bare feet waving in the air behind her, and chin digging into the back of her hand. Her belly was starting to get itchy from the carpet fibers poking through her shirt, but she just wriggled a bit to scratch it. She'd stare at the glossy box for another hour if she had to, until it either disappeared or made sense. First, there was its color. Deep red. Blood red. Hemoglobin red, as Cleo would say. Of course, she knew what it meant. The package contained medicine. But she wasn't sick. Her mom wasn't sick. Her dad wasn't sick. And Miss Vane, well, she couldn't get sick, so there was no reason Cleo could see for them to have medicine. Then there was the label. Miriam Wendemore Adiza, 412263, 25th May, 2096. The address was right. Cleo had even sung the silly little song her dad had taught her to remember it. The number starts with 412, a place to live for me and you. Rounded off with 263, safe from influenza D. The date was obviously right. The name, that was all wrong. Cleo pulled up to her knees, dug her nails into her belly for a few satisfying seconds, and then reached for her scroll. When she had it unfurled, it clicked into a stiff board, and she propped it against the package. A simple touch in the middle brought the screen to life, and an array of pillowy blue letters appeared. Virtual Adaptive Instructional Network. Use voice recognition to log on. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, Cleo said quickly. The pudgy letters dissolved instantly, replaced by the fretful face of her teacher, who peered at Cleo over her bifocals. You've been gone for a good deal more than a few minutes, Cleo, Miss Vane observed. Cleo glanced at the icon behind Miss Vane's right shoulder. The screen zoomed in, replacing the matronly teacher's face with that of a clock. It's only been 17, Cleo retorted, rolling her eyes. I can take a little break. The test isn't until next week. Miss Vane seized the opportunity to reclaim the screen. 17 minutes is more than enough time to eat an apple. Besides, your test is in 5 days, darling. 5. And I've been studying for it since I was 6. That's half my life. Miss Vane wagged a virtual finger at her. Some have been at it longer than that. Now, where's your skull? We were reviewing the names of the sutures. Cleo grabbed the skull and held it in front of her scroll. Metopic, coronal, sagittal, lambdoid. There. Now can I ask you a question? Always and anything, love. Who is Miriam Wendemore Adiza? Cleo repeated the last name letter by letter, just to be sure. Miss Vane blinked. Something she did only when consulting the database. Then she shook her head. Sorry, Cleo. I don't have information on anyone by that name. I could expand my search to fictional characters and variant spellings if you like. Cleo frowned. No, thank you. It's not a historical figure or anyone like that anyway. Someone contemporary? Sorry there, love. Vanes don't have access to the directory. Why do you ask? Cleo picked up the scroll and turned it around, letting Miss Vane see the package. That's where I got the name. Miss Vane wore a reassuring smile as Cleo flipped her back. It's probably for one of your mother's patients, yes? Cleo squinted skeptically at the package. I don't know. I mean, it's not like my mom can just give her the medicine. It's no good here. Best ask her when she's done with work, then. In the meantime, may I suggest a thorough review of the optic nerve? A slowly rotating image of an eyeball replaced Miss Vane's patient face. Cleo's eyes weren't on it, though. Instead, she was staring at the door that led into her mother's office. The seal around the edge pulsed a quiet orange. Her mom was in surgery. So that was a dead end, then. Maybe our tube malfunctioned, Cleo said suddenly, and she scrambled to her feet. Miss Vane's voice followed her. Tubes don't malfunction, dearie. They're just tubes, and packages don't get delivered to the wrong place. Cleo ignored her. The tube jutted into their kitchen like a giant made of glass had shoved its finger through their wall. Cleo and her father had used paints to decorate it like a garden box, and every time a delivery whooshed in, it looked like the flowers and butterflies and bees were alive with light, if only for a second. When she was younger, she'd press her face to the rounded end, watching for deliveries and screaming ecstatically every time the shutter in the wall opened. That was her dad's cue to slide open the top of the tube and grab the delivery, whether it was food or soap or a replacement scroll. Cleo peered through the glass the same way now, but Miss Vane was right. It was just a tube. Their tube. It wasn't broken, and it certainly wasn't capable of magically manufacturing medicine. Still, something weird had happened, and it involved that tube. Cleo knew it. Mostly because other than the tiny air vents and the compost chute, it was the only way anything got into or out of their apartment. Ever. That was Chapter 1 of Cleo Porter and the Body Electric.